I used to travel to Puerto Rico and say, Bendición, Abuelo. I want to grab a clock and turn back time, back to when I was a little girl playing with my sister and Abuelo outside. I want to go back to the years when death was nowhere in my thoughts because now when I think of it, my stomach is in knots. I want the hourglass to shatter, for the blanket that is time to tatter. I want to go back to when years passing didn't matter. When I stood in the hospital and held your hand, I was also holding on to hope. I held on to that thin and fragile string because it was all I could do to cope, but then the string snapped. And when I got the news, it shocked me to my core, and that is when the devastation began to pour. In a drop of time, an instant, a second, there was no going back. No going back to when I was a kid and you showed me how to play baseball. No going back to walking the dog to the mailbox. No going back to your kind hand offering me pan sobao. No going back to the limbes that awaited me when I visited. When we all gathered for the last goodbye, I held my breath and I cried. I threw the white rose in the coffin, heard the words gone but never forgotten. As I stood before your grave, memories came to me in a wave. How you looked at me and knew who I was and could say my name, and how, towards the final days, we were all playing the waiting game. I now have a new friend whose time I like to spend, grief the ghost. It haunts me. Its presence is not heard or seen but felt. Grief watches over my shoulder like a shadow. The ghost refuses to leave, to quit, and every memory that I have, the ghost is now there, wounding me bit by bit. Although it may be in the far depths of my mind, where I hope I can leave it behind, it lurks there unconfined. Time continues to tick by. You passed in June, and I continue to ask myself, why? Why you? I can still feel your spirit in the air, in the song of a coqui, in the game of dominoes, in the breeze of a mountain, in the sound of the guiro, in the lyrics of Mi Viejo San Juan. All I had was 15 years, and that will not stop my tears. Now the weather starts to chill, the flowers start to die, the grass turns gray, and I still think about that day, the day I found out you were forever gone. And although in my life this is only one chapter, it's hard to think about how now there is only before and after. You are missing from a place I know you should be. You are missing from my heart, my soul, from me. Now when I travel to Puerto Rico, my dad sits outside by himself, the chair beside him empty, while your game of chess sits on the shelf. I no longer see your smile bright in a room, no longer hear your soft footsteps on the floor. Your house is no longer what it was before. But maybe someday in the clouds, I'll see you again, and I will smile at the memories until then.